have known you was in here. I saw the drippings from the driveway. You know something with that jerry curl you got on your head? You better not ever do a crime.
Y'all remember Anthony Johnson from Friday? Well, let me tell you, this dude's got a backstory that's straight fire and will leave you speechless. From running with gangs in Compton to scrubbing classrooms as a cleaner, Johnson's come a long way, and his journey's been a wild ride. And don't even get me started on his beef with Ice Cube. It's a whole nother level of messy. But here's the thing, Johnson's life wasn't all laughs. He struggled with panic attacks, and ultimately, his life was cut short when he suffered a stroke. And if that wasn't enough, his wife got dragged through the mud by Faison Love, who called her out for allegedly trying to scam people by raising funds for Johnson's burial. The drama's real, y'all, and it's time to get to the bottom of it. Let's dive into Johnson's story, from his humble beginnings to his rise as a comedian and the messy incident that led to his death. And what's tea with Faison Love? Why's he coming for Johnson's wife while she's still mourning? The plot's thick, and we need to get to the bottom of it. Let me tell you, Anthony Johnson's childhood in Compton, Cali, was straight up rugged, but he persevered, navigating through all the drama and coming out on top. Johnson's parents were separated, and his dad, Eddie Smith, was a total boss, a stuntman and co-founder of the Black Stuntmen's Association. Meanwhile, Johnson was living with his mom and grandma, who raised him and his siblings. Here's the twist. Johnson wanted to follow in his dad's footsteps and become a stuntman, but after trying it out, he was like, nah, this ain't for me. And let's be real, Johnson was a wild child growing up. He was in a gang at just 16. Can you believe it? He even got stabbed at a party because of his gang ties. Anyway, Johnson went on to attend Compton High, where he was the class clown, always seeking attention and getting into trouble. He was sent to the principal's office more times than he can count. But he also had a passion for football, and he played on the school team. Let's fast forward to Johnson's early 20s. He's about to blow up the comedy scene, but how did he get his start? Well, Johnson gives major props to his pops for helping him break into the film industry. He also shouts out comedian Robin Harris, who took him under his wing and gave him a second chance after a disastrous stand-up set. It was a total comeback story. After that, Johnson's career went from 0 to 100 real quick. He drew inspiration from comedy legends like Martin Lawrence, Tommy Davidson, J. Anthony Brown. He started acting in his early 20s, landing a starring role in House Party in 1990. He then began doing stand-up in LA bars and appeared in films like Lethal Weapon 3, Menace to Society. But here's the juiciest part. Johnson's breakout role was in the 1995 comedy classic Friday, where he played Ezal, a crackhead and thief. He nailed the role, and it's no surprise why. He drew inspiration from his own brother, who struggled with addiction. And who hooked him up with the role? None other than Ice Cube, his homie. Johnson went on to appear in Panther, The Players Club, and other films, often with Ice Cube's help. But here's the kicker. When it came time to film the next Friday movie, Johnson and Ice Cube had already discussed the details, but Ice Cube suddenly ghosted him. Next thing Johnson knew, filming had started without him. Talk about a shady move. It left Johnson wondering, what's good, Ice Cube? Y'all, Johnson's a real one, and Ice Cube's shady move wasn't about to stop him from grinding. He kept it moving, landing roles in BAPs, I Got the Hookup, Def Jam's How to Be a Player, and Repos. He even made appearances in rap videos like Dr. Dre's Dre Day and Eazy-E's Real Motherfucking G's. He played Sleazy E, a parody of Eazy-E, and got assaulted in the process. Talk about commitment to the craft. Johnson's got a homie, Master P, who's been looking out for him. This dude's like a guardian angel. When Johnson's crib got broken into and $75,000 went missing, Master P showed up with a fat stack of cash wrapped in a brown envelope. That's some real brotherly love right there. Johnson's also all about making iconic moves on camera, just like his pops advised him. But here's the thing, if comedy hadn't saved his life, Johnson would probably be selling dough right now. Crazy, right? Comedy's his bread and butter, and he's got no backup plan. He even tried being a custodian once, but quit after one day because it was too much drama. Johnson's got his own share of skeletons in the closet. He's always had a thing for drinking and getting lit on stage, because for him, that's when the magic happens. But his party animal ways caught up with him, and he got slapped with a DUI charge. We're talking over 20 years in the slammer, but his lawyer worked some magic, and he got off with just 3 years. But here's the twist. Johnson only served a hot minute in prison, just 3 months. He got out in 2010, but his freedom was short-lived. He was stuck on home supervision till 2013, which is basically just a fancy way of saying house arrest. He was stuck at home, couldn't perform, couldn't act. It was a straight-up comedy career killer. Can you even imagine the frustration? Johnson's had a really wild ride. Back in July 2009, reports were flying that he had a heart attack at LaGuardia Airport on his way to a comedy show. But hold up, Johnson's got a different story to tell. In 2018, he spilled the tea that it was actually a panic attack. Here's what went down. Johnson was stuck on a plane, wedged between two larger dudes, and he was feeling hella claustrophobic. He was getting anxious, telling them he needed to get out, but they weren't trying to hear it. He tried to reach for his panic attack meds, but then things took a crazy turn. One of the dudes jumped on him, holding him down on the floor, thinking he was about to whip out a gun or something. The plane had to make an emergency turnaround, heading back to New York, because Johnson was struggling to breathe. It was a full-blown emergency situation. When they landed, Johnson was wheeled off to the hospital. It was a straight-up tragic situation that made headlines, but now we've got the real tea. Johnson set the record straight, and it's truly a wild story. Let's get into Johnson's personal life, y'all. He was married to Lexis Jones Mason, and they had 3 daughters together. He was also a proud grandpa to 5 little ones. But tragically, Johnson's life was cut short. On September 6th, 2021, he passed away in a Los Angeles County hospital after being found unresponsive in a store. His rep, Linnea Bell, broke the news on September 20th. The autopsy report revealed that Johnson died from multi-system organ failure caused by chronic alcohol use. He also had COVID-19, but was asymptomatic. It's a gut-wrenching way to go. But here's where things take a wild turn. Johnson's wife struggled to pay for his burial and set up a GoFundMe page. She took to social media, pouring her heart out about the fake love and how people weren't willing to help. It was a heartfelt plea. But then actor Faison Love dropped a bombshell. He claimed Johnson's wife was probably scamming people and that Johnson had been divorced from her for years. Love even said that he'd offered to pay for the funeral himself. If that's true, it's a low blow, fam. Johnson's wife was allegedly putting on a show, exploiting her husband's death for personal gain. Anyway, Johnson's journey came to an end at just 55 years young, leaving behind an estimated net worth of $100,000. It's still hard to believe he's really gone, and it feels like a wild dream. But here's the thing. Johnson's legacy lives on in our memories, and his iconic performances on screen will be etched in our minds forever. He might be gone, but his comedy and his spirit will keep on living.